And now, for a moment of clarity.
All right, Michael. What's your sense of the Hegseth nomination? Clearly wobbling, as there's reporting out there that Donald Trump even called Governor Ron DeSantis and said, "You're my guy for DOD."
Yeah, that was amusing. Look, is it shaky? Probably. On what basis? We'll find out. I'm sure someone will say something. The more there's a consensus around the idea of not confirming him. Right now, as you saw from the clips coming in, all the senators are doing what senators typically do. They're posturing and sort of pretending that this process is going to unfold, in an open way. It likely won't. There will be a consensus formed that, as we saw with the other nominee, that, hey, this can't go any further. And at that point, they'll come out and say so. But, look, at the end of the day, Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, none of them, Kash Patel, none of them should be considered seriously for the positions they've been put up for. This is Donald Trump's way of punking U.S. senators and forcing them to swallow what he wants them to swallow. How many of his nominees are they going to reject? They have the power to do that under the Constitution and to say, look, Mr. President-elect, send us nominees that we can vote for. We want to help you, but you're creating more noise and more problems for your administration downstream. But that's not how this goes, and we know it. So we play the game and pretend like this is somehow normal, that these individuals are normal nominees, and it's a load of crap, and we all know it is, but we pretend.
So, but why are they pretending? I mean, it is an equal branch of government. If they if they banded together and said, no, we're not into this person, they would have strength in numbers. It's a question I often ask about Republicans. Why not use the strength in numbers power that you have? Do you all come out and say, no, thanks? Donald Trump doesn't have much of an argument. He can't oust 50 senators.
Well, you've heard the phrase "grow a pair," right? Well, when you get them all together, you barely get one. So I don't know how we expect them to behave any differently than they have over the last 10 years. When have they ever bandied together to say no? When have they ever stood in the well of the Senate and said no?
And even when Gaetz.
No, Matt Gaetz did him. Come on, Katie. That wasn't that. The senators didn't force him out.
You think Hegseth is much better? You think Kash Patel is much better?
No, none of them are. I just said that.
I know.
I just said that. But the deal with Matt Gaetz. Here's the truism about Matt Gaetz. They don't like him. So it was easy. Matt Gaetz was the Ted Cruz of the House. Nobody likes him. So it was easy. That wasn't a hard one. They barely lifted a finger on that. Come on.
Well, I guess my other question is, we're presuming that they don't like Kash Patel, or they don't like, for these positions, they don't like, Pete Hegseth, or they don't like Tulsi Gabbard for these positions, taking personal feelings out of it. Maybe they do like them for the positions. Maybe they do agree with Donald Trump's desire to blow things up.
Yeah, as long as it's not blowing them up, they're good. Because a lot of them believe none of this will touch them because the base won't bother them. They won't come after them in their primaries. They'll still be able to get their cash raised when they need it. And they won't create animosity between them and the incoming president. I wish they had that kind of, slovenly kind of, appreciation for the president. I use that term loosely, that they did, that they showed that for George Bush, or they showed that for any other Republican presidents. Just this one, who's not a Republican, who's not believed or stood for anything that these individuals who've been in the Senate for quite some time in many cases, who are long known, stalwarts of the Republican Party and its brand, defending the indefensible when it comes to Trump. And so I guess you kind of have to ask them, ask a Lindsey Graham, dude, why do you backflip the way you backflip? Mitch McConnell, you stood in the well of the Senate and condemned the actions of the president on January 6th, and then 2 weeks later voted to acquit him. So we can't explain what's in your head and your heart. Only you can do that. And they never offer that up. We never know their rationale for why they do what they do. And we let them get away with the one-off, sort of dumb behind explanation that doesn't explain anything. And it all boils down to party loyalty and, behavior.
Catch Michael Steele on The Weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on MSNBC.